Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Funny Business Podcast. It may seem the same if you are listening over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, your favorite platform. But if you're watching the YouTube video today, boy, do we have a frickin' treat for you. I would like to say, literally sitting next to me today is none other than the other co-host of the Funny Business Podcast, Mr. Matt Summers. Matt, I don't even know what to say.
We did it.
We did it.
We actually did it. You know, it was a long time in the coming. I can actually touch him this time.
It's social distancing.
Oh, that's true. That's my bad. But no, I mean, it's great. You know, this is another step forward for us, and it's a good opportunity for us to just hang out.
Yeah. So Matt and I actually had, Matt had to do some things on campus for just dropping off some things, and he's like, hey,
School.
Yeah, school. Wow, can't believe it. But he, is like, you want to do a podcast this afternoon? I'm like, oh my gosh, we can actually do the podcast in person this time. So I'm very excited, Matt, and you're pretty souped up there.
I like the setup here. I might have to come up every week for this.
So you know what's funny?
What is funny?
So I remember I was saying the surprises that were coming up this week on the podcast, right?
Yes, that's right. I remember that now.
So besides the microphone,
oh no,
that boom stand and that pop filter is actually yours.
No way.
Yeah, I gave it to you.
Oh man. Oh, this is dope.
Yeah. So you're able to fit on your microphone that you bring to the house, and you can connect it, and you can literally put it anywhere. So
that's insane. Now I got to fix my setup in my room.
Yeah. So
oh man, now you gave me a job to do for the week. I actually like this.
So happy podcasting now.
You are the best.
Well, I mean,
the hostess with the mostest.
So this is the first time Matt is actually in my apartment, and Matt, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think of this apartment?
I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay, why not 10 out of 10?
Well, I do love the futon. Obviously, we did have the futon. This futon has been in my family for about like 30 years. Yeah, but it's missing a nice casting couch. Would really bring it together.
No,
I mean, it gets the people going. It really brings like a wholesome feel to an apartment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Matt said, this has been through 4 apartments. Is that correct? 4 apartments?
Yeah, 4 apartments.
5 technically counting your house too.
Yes.
Or did you move?
No, it was my place. Then no, it's been 4.
4?
No, 5. 5.
5
yes,
counting
5.
Your home.
Yep, that's correct.
So it's been through 5 moves. It finally has ended up in my apartment. And what else is great about this podcast is that this is the last time that this futon will probably be used to the fullest extent, because I'm actually getting a new futon next week.
I'm excited for you to get a new futon because this thing is junk.
It is.
But this has been in my family for a while. Fun fact, we actually had 2 of these.
So do you want
No, just toss it.
You want to toss it?
No, just toss it. It's a piece of junk. Like, we really don't need it. I'm surprised you kept it this long, to be honest.
Well, so it really ticked me off at one point because so when Jenna was over, I'd always sit on the side because, it's always for my beer and whatnot.
Yep.
But
it's the best part about it.
Oh yeah. But what was annoying was when somebody sat in the middle. I don't know if it was somebody that stayed over one of the nights or somebody stepped on it, but the main frame was actually bent.
Yeah, that was probably bent before we had it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so I blame you for that.
Yeah, we'll blame my brother for that.
Okay, we'll blame
Steven.
Steven.
Yep.
Damn it, Steven.
Bitch.
So I actually, one of the days I was, I think, making lunch. I was still working from home that time. And I actually ended up flipping this entire futon by myself, and I stood on that metal frame. Like,
that's
you
impressive.
should have seen me. I was standing up, and I was pushing on the actual ceiling of my apartment and actually pushing down on it to even it out. So
I would have just thrown it out. I know.
It's one person.
It's a lot. Like, this isn't, like, I know it looks like a crappy futon, which it is a crappy futon, but it does still weigh a lot. Like, the wood's pretty solid, and, like, it is tough to flip by yourself. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I did take step by step. Like, I actually didn't flip it completely. Like, those chair flipping. Like, people did like chair flipping at one point. It was like a contest where they had to flip the chair over into 360 and land on its legs.
When was this?
A couple years ago.
Oh, was that like a middle school trend?
No, it was just like the broom stands. Like the broom standings.
Yes, that was cool. I actually did that. It actually did. It does stand.
Successful?
Yeah. I didn't videotape it, but you guys gotta believe me because it's true.
Matt said on the podcast, so
I don't lie.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm getting a futon, and when I texted Matt, I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I'm seeing somebody different." And Matt's reply to me was, "You whore." I was like,
Yeah.
Hey,
It was a tough pill to swallow. I mean, it is a piece of shit, but like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, okay, and I'm the one who's usually the pro here.
I guess I'm the pro now, but yeah, I mean, the futon's been through so much. It was like part of our college career.
Yeah, I mean, especially it was. I mean, I feel like any college apartment should get a futon to some degree because you never know who's going to be over. You never know who's going to be, crashing for the night or anything like that. But you have no room in your bed. It's really inconvenient to sleep in the kitchen, and probably 9 times out of 10, you probably are not like me and use another bedroom for an office. So futon works out pretty well.
Also, futons are great because like on a couch, you can't really fit 2 people. Like if your close friend is sleeping over at your buddy's house, just sleep on the futon together. Like there's plenty of room for 2 of you. Just keep your socks on and you'll be good. Always got to keep the socks on.
Always got to keep the socks on. We have socks on right now too. Yeah, see? Look at that. Matt, that's probably the most exercise Matt has done was actually lift his legs.
No, I did cardio today.
Did you?
Yeah, my sweat was sweating.
So you did cardio before you came here?
I did it this morning.
So did you run?
It was like 2 exercises and then like 30 seconds of high intensity training.
Okay.
So we had like sprint in place, high knees, jumping jacks. The hardest one was we had to do like side shuffle into a burpee.
Interesting. Now, did you watch a YouTube video for that?
No, there's like an app that I have.
Oh, yeah. There's an app for that.
Yeah.
No surprise.
Pretty intriguing.
So, I think, Matt, this is absolutely fabulous to start. This podcast was just talking about actually physical stuff. So, physical stuff, that actually sounds pretty weird.
Oh, sexual.
It was very sexual. Well, we were talking about socks on for crying out loud.
Well, I mean, that's just common sense.
Well, this podcast hasn't deterred from what we're going to be talking about today. So obviously, first half is about the entertainment segment, and the second half is sports. But we're going to kick off today with a topic that was almost discussed during one of our Fortnite nights. Say that 5 times fast.
Decline. I'm not going to say that 5 times fast.
Okay. Well, see, this guy's got jokes when he's in person. So.
I'm loving this right now. Absolutely loving this.
But today we're actually going to be discussing a new update that was happening on Instagram. Instagram introduced Reels within the past couple of weeks. Whenever you listen to this podcast, in August, they released it in August. That way, this podcast can be evergreen, as it's called. So, the biggest thing that's noted within these Reels, it is very much so similar to the app that both Matt and I know and love, and that's TikTok. So with TikTok itself, it's a simple creative app that people will do songs, do dances to. We're actually going to do TikToks this afternoon, right?
Oh, we're going to do a hell of a bunch.
Okay, we're going to do a bunch. So make sure you follow Matt's TikTok at MattSpeed96.
It's Matt_speed 47.
47. You change numbers on me.
I switch it up sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Why 47?
It's a shout out to one of my buddies in middle school. He actually passed away while we were in middle school.
Oh, okay.
So his football number was 47. I played baseball with him and stuff like that. So
I thought it was going to be a joke, and now I actually feel like a jerk.
That's okay. I'm not mad.
So what Reels does, and I'm reading from The Verge here, it says that Reels lets people create short-form videos set to music that can be shared with friends and followers and discovered while browsing the app. It's the newest opportunity for Instagram to bring in users, increase the amount of time people spend in the app every day, and establish itself as a video entertainment platform. Now, Matt and I were almost about to go off on this topic when we were playing Fortnite, but I'm like, let's leave it for the podcast. I feel like this is something that we could talk about. So, Matt, what are your thoughts on Reels? Have you dove into them? Have you done anything to them?
No. So I looked at them because I was curious. I mean, I don't know how many TikToks I've made. I've probably made
a lot.
I've made like probably 40 TikToks.
My dad still has more followers than you.
Yes.
Actually, more views, I should say.
Yes.
Views and followers.
That is a fact. I think I have more likes, but he does have more views.
Yes, I believe that's true.
But I did look into Reels. It's maybe I just didn't fully look into it like long enough, but it doesn't look like it's going to take people away from TikTok.
Okay.
Because one, I feel like people don't know it well enough to switch right away. Because like people on TikTok, you can search like a sound. Even like I've tried to search like sounds before, and if I don't know the exact sound, I'll just like search part of it.
Okay.
And usually like 9 times out of 10 it pops up, so it's easy to find. the effects people know more than they use of Reels. And I just feel like people aren't going to use Instagram Reels. Like if they're going to go on Instagram, they're not going to go on it to look for Reels, because most people have TikTok or Byte, if you use Byte, something like that. So I like the idea by Instagram, because if TikTok does fail, people might switch over. But for the short term, I don't think it's going to work out too well for them. I don't know what your thoughts are. You're kind of the social media expert, so I'm turning to you for this one.
So I understand. See, this is my take it. So I understand your points with the fact that people don't necessarily know too much about Reels as of yet. But wasn't that the same with TikTok?
It was, but I think that's also because they had Vine.
So they had Vine. They then had Musical.ly. Remember Musical.ly?
I'd never heard of Musical.ly.
So Musical.ly was actually the alpha before it became TikTok.
Oh, okay.
So it was actually like a meld, because Musical.ly was more made based on music.
Okay.
But TikTok kind of melded it. It says, okay, we can do music, but now we can do videos of any kind. So I think with Musical.ly, I was on Musical.ly at one point, and I was like, I don't know what this is. And if you look far back enough, you can actually see some of the similarities between Musical.ly and TikTok. So yeah, it was a very clean change, a layover, I should say. So I think it's only a matter of time that Reels will actually start becoming a little bit more popular based on when people start getting on the app. The second thing that I will have to disagree with you about is that people will stay on TikTok. Now, we had a wonderful guest, Trevor Abney, on the show not too long ago, which, by the way, did hit 1 million followers not too long ago. So
shout out Trevor again.
Yes, shout out Trevor again.
He's big time.
Remember the little people when you're famous.
Yep.
So, meaning us right here. So with TikTok itself, there's been a lot of things that have been going on. You know, we've had the possibility of TikTok shutting down at one point. Trump signed an executive order as far as U.S. soil companies must buy TikTok in order for TikTok to still stand, or else he's going to ban it. I feel like Instagram has the edge in this sense, or Zuckerberg has the edge on this.
You mean the robot?
No. Yes. With the sense that with Reels is a more sustainable and solid platform that it's being used on. TikTok, every day we get so worried that the fact that, oh no, TikTok's crashing. Like, remember there was no likes on any videos when we were scrolling through?
That was a terrible day, because I actually thought TikTok was gone.
Right. So you thought about that. When Instagram went down, remember Instagram went down? Like, it was, people couldn't load the feed, couldn't load the stories, anything like that.
Yep.
No one was kind of worried. They were like, oh, it's down, whatever. So there's a scare factor between TikTok actually still staying an app versus Instagram. So the longevity of the app of Instagram should probably still be sticking around, and probably will have a longer shelf life than Instagram and TikTok. And I'm making that statement now on the podcast.
So that's true. If TikTok does go away, like Instagram Reels is going to be big, but there's talks that Microsoft is going to buy TikTok, which I've seen they're actually like not close to it, but they're making good progress. I feel like if Microsoft buys TikTok, like, they're going to stick around for a while, because Microsoft is big time.
Well, the thing that scares me is when an app tries that. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is Mixer. Mixer was the streaming platform that Microsoft owned. It was a big competition with Twitch. As we all know, Facebook bought Mixer, and now Facebook Gaming is becoming a thing. So also, too, what I saw was Apple was looking into buying it as well.
Buying TikTok?
Buying TikTok.
Oh.
So I think it's a scapegoat. I think that's the proper terminology.
Yes.
It's a scapegoat because Apple wants to raise Microsoft's price so high, and Apple's going to back out the last minute and say, you know what, we're not interested in this. So then Microsoft is just going to go down the hole as far as buying TikTok, and now they have to try to find a way to create TikTok. But also, too, we're looking at it, the creators, or should I say the management of TikTok, when President Trump was talking about the fact that he wants to shut down TikTok, they were investing in $1 billion to their TikTok creators.
That was the big thing that Instagram said they're probably not going to do as of right now, is pay the creators. So if they're not going to pay the creators, they're not going to leave. Like Addison Rae. She has no incentive to go use Instagram Reels, because she's probably one of the creators that's going to get paid from TikTok.
Charli D'Amelio is 100%.
Yes,
no doubt.
Those. And they're big on Instagram too. But just because they're big on Instagram doesn't mean that they're going to leave if they're getting paid from TikTok.
Well, I think we talked about previously in an episode about the differences between platforms itself, and you can be big on one platform. And I'll take YouTube, for example. Like, people can be huge on YouTube, but they utilize Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat on occasion, and will promote their content, but they won't necessarily be posting the content. So even with, like, I believe Charli D'Amelio was running a collaboration with Abercrombie. I think it was always that ad that showed up when you were going on to TikTok.
I think it was Abercrombie.
So with that, she was just posting about just Abercrombie, about her taking on, this collaboration, but she didn't necessarily post anything on Instagram, because probably what Abercrombie wanted was, hey, you have a big following on TikTok. Our target demographics is some of the people who are at that age.
Right.
We're going to give you X amount of money or whatever deal, or I think it was like pants.
Probably.
Yeah, some type of pants. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't go to Abercrombie.
I used to. I used to have decent deals. Wait, was it Abercrombie or Aeropostale?
Aeropostale. I didn't have that either.
Yeah, so, but they're not trying to throw anything towards Instagram or Facebook. Like, they're really sticking with TikTok.
Yeah, that I think it. Like I said, first of all, I'm not surprised Apple got into business. I think as soon as they heard Microsoft was getting in, they're like, oh, yeah, we got to get in with this too. But I don't really know if they have a big interest in buying it. Mm-hmm. Like you said, I think it's probably just to raise the price. But I hope, all in all, I just hope TikTok stays. It's fun. Like, we don't want another Vine. Like, there's so many people that I was talking to in January, February. I was like, you got to get on TikTok. You got to get on TikTok. It's so fun. They're like,
who was the one that got you on TikTok?
You were. Yes, Mike was the one that got me on TikTok. But I was like, they were like, oh no, like I can't have, like I don't want to get hurt because it's going to turn into Vine, which we don't want it to turn into Vine.
No.
Which is why someone's going to buy it. I fully believe someone's going to buy TikTok. There's no way it's just going to disappear. Or like, it's not going to happen. They make too much money out of having American content creators.
Yeah, dude, that's a perfect stance. I just think as far as shelf life, I don't think it's going to be consumed by somebody else.
Bro, how long was Vine around for? I didn't have Vine.
Vine, let's do a quick Google search because you know how that is. So this is actually, we usually have this, like I have like a, when we're on the computer screen, it's actually around me. So how long was Vine around?
Because I feel it's definitely got to be longer than TikTok right now.
So it was founded in 2012 of June.
Okay.
Wait.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Damn, we were
June
in high
of
school.
2012. And then I remember, Vine launched on January 24th, 2013. And then I remember they closed back when I was when we were sophomores in college, I believe.
Okay.
So that was 2015. So a couple years.
Interesting.
So a couple years. So,
okay.
But again, I think the longevity of it, I mean, again, Vine was bought by Twitter. So the longevity about it is that I feel like unless TikTok goes absolutely through the roof and has more accounts than Facebook, I just don't see it being alive. I love TikTok. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I freaking love TikTok. But I feel like it's going to be consumed and we're going to utilize it in a different way.
It's a shame. Well, it's a shame because it's like I love TikTok the way it is, and I don't want it to change, even though it already has changed because there's a lot more dancing trends. Like October and November TikTok of last year was so much better than TikTok right now.
Yeah, no,
so much better.
Agree with you on that. So, well, I guess we're just gonna have to see whether the 45 days is up, depending on
I think it's September 15th is the date.
I think.
Yeah,
45 days, and
something
August
like
10th.
that. Yeah,
it's around.
I think it's the 15th.
35 days, 45 days. It's the recording of this episode is the 11th. Yeah, 45. Yeah, it's around there. So
give or take.
So hopefully any of our creators that are listening that are from TikTok are crossing their fingers, and hopefully that some decision will be made, and we'll be excited to follow more of that and report it more on the Funny Business Podcast. But on to the next and final topic for today. Matt, I know both you and I have been missing out church because of COVID-19. So, which actually you went to church not too long ago.
I've been to church every week actually.
Oh wow,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, we have to. We have to
what
call
a friend
and reserve,
I am.
We have to call and reserve a spot. But yeah, we get in every week. It's been interesting. I mean, you do have to wear a mask the whole time. There's no singing. And other than that, it's really not too different.
Okay.
Like every other pew is closed, so there's only they only allow like 40 people. But it's been nice to get back.
So has your priests, deacons, or vicars used chopsticks to serve communion?
They have not. They wear face masks, but chopsticks, no.
Interesting. So there is the church of England vicar is using chopsticks to give bread to parishioners during Holy Communion while adhering to coronavirus safety protocols. So Reverend Eileen Harrop has taken the inspiration from her Chinese cultural heritage with an unusual approach to receiving communion, which is chopsticks.
I like it. I like it a lot. Well, do they, is it only to the hand?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Because if they do touch the mouth, then I'm out. That's a hard pass. That's a hard pass for me.
Yeah, I'm seeing right now that most of their receiving, the receiving is based on the hands.
Okay, that's good.
But still, I think that's still not good because you're still making contact with the individual.
But they could do it in a way where they don't actually touch the hand. They drop it in.
It's almost like the crane machine.
But it's also kind of dangerous because getting a little religious here, the wafer is not supposed to touch the ground.
Mm-hmm.
They can't use it if it touches the ground. So you got to be very careful when you do drop it in.
Did you ever see? I know this is getting a little religious here, but did you ever see a host actually being dropped before?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the person just picked it up and ate it and walked away.
So you know what they're actually supposed to do? I saw this when I was going to a church in New York when so I had to go to Sunday school on Sundays. I couldn't do it during the week, and my church back in Pennsylvania was doing weekday CCD, so I could not do that. So I switched over to the church in New York, which is close to us. It's not I'm driving an hour and a half away,
right.
But New York State, not city.
Right.
So what I saw was the host was dropped, and then the individual, well, the priest, I should say, Father Iggy was his name. Father Iggy, what a great guy. The host was dropped. He's like, "Don't touch it," and every single time somebody would try to touch it, grab it, dude's like, "Stop, don't touch it." What they do is at the end when communion line is done, Father Iggy would actually take holy water and actually go and take a cloth and would pick up the host, would pour holy water on it, and then rub the carpet.
Interesting.
As a sign of cleanliness within the Holy Spirit. So
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of like one of those little touches that you would never see regularly, but when it comes time to those things, I don't know, I feel like it's pretty sacred to me. That was a pretty cool sacred thing that went through. So
yeah, definitely.
But chopsticks on the other hand, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if that's allowed to
because
use chopsticks.
Technically chopsticks are a part of its own religion, and I say that in huge air quotes.
Right.
Chopsticks, you can't put them, you can't cross them, which means some type of thing, and you're supposed to hold them in a certain way. And this
I can't
is
use chopsticks.
I have.
Every time I ate sushi, I use a fork, and my
You
friends
just
are
stick
like,
the
"What
chopstick?
the hell are you doing?" And I'm just like, "I can't use a chopstick. I'm using a fork."
Do you just stick it when you actually have to?
I just stick it right in the middle and eat it.
Yeah, so I am a little confused as far as how she has been able to, be able to utilize these chopsticks. So,
It's gonna be hard to pick up a communion wafer with a chopstick too.
I mean, unless you're really good at using chopsticks.
Yeah, but I don't know. That seems a little excessive. Just you can use your hands and just wash your hands. That's what the priest when I've been going the past few weeks, they put on a mask or some type of face protection, and they just use their hands and then wash their hands afterwards. That's. I understand you got to take precautions, but washing your hands is probably the best thing you can do anyway.
Yeah.
Because you got to wash your hands anyway after touching the chopsticks. Mm-hmm. So it just seems unnecessary.
I have to bring up the American priest that was actually squirting holy water in the cars.
I did not see that either.
Yeah. So there was some type of gather. I guess it's more so just blessing. It was a blessing of trying to be able to work out the thing. So
interesting.
Yeah, whatever floats the boat.
I guess. Yeah, there's got to be something better than chopsticks. Can't you use gloves?
For communion?
Yeah.
I feel like it would still cause some things.
I mean, either way, and no matter what you use, you're still going to have to wash your hands. At the end of the day, you got to wash your hands.
Yeah.
As Stephen A. Smith said, wash your hands. Don't be nasty.
Wash your hands. Don't be nasty. So hopefully everyone is washing their hands. And, if you see any unusual things based on your religion, I should say, make sure you let us know on our social media at Funny Business. When we come back, Matt's got his sports topics and still chilling on the futon. Don't go anywhere. Matt, I got to tell you, I am so happy we're continuing to make more episodes for our podcast.
You're so right, Mike. I really am enjoying hearing how awesome each episode is every week from everyone. It's so easy to do.
It is so easy. And we have Anchor, our sponsor for this episode, to thank for. Anchor is free to anyone that wants to start a podcast. It's easy for beginners with the creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also helps distribute our podcast so our listeners can tune in to their platform of choice, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more.
And Mike, I got to tell you, I was skeptical before, but we actually are making a profit off this podcast. We are still a small podcast, but it's nice to see the progress we have made with each episode with that money.
Yes, we are making it rain. Kind of. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm.
And who knows, you may start a podcast with your best friend.
That's right. Roommates for life. Now back to the podcast.
Okay, let's slide into the sports topics for today. We have a lot lined up. But Mike, I have a surprise for you.
Oh, so I surprised you in the first half.
I have a surprise for you.
What's my surprise?
It is time for sports trivia.
Oh.
So you like doing trivia for me.
Yeah.
So we're going to do something we're going to do throughout the show.
So wait, were these topics like non-realistic?
No, we're going to talk on them.
Okay.
Maybe not all of them.
Okay.
We're going to talk about them.
Oh, dear God.
So what I have for you today, so we're going to do this throughout the show.
You jerk. Trivia. You lied to me.
Oh, I absolutely. Yeah. I grabbed my notebook in between, and he's like, what'd you have that for? I was like, just stuff for the topics. Yeah. So today's theme, I have 10 questions. Yankees trivia.
Okay.
We have old time, new time, everything in between. It's not multiple choice, but I will give you the year in which it happened.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's only 10 questions.
Because I'm the nice guy and give choices. This guy gives me open-ended questions.
But that was a lot of work. And at least you didn't actually make that quiz. That was a BuzzFeed quiz. There's multiple.
So you made this quiz?
Yes, I handpicked these questions.
This quiz is sponsored by Matt Summers.
I handpicked these questions.
Okay. I'm ready for it.
Number 1. Which Yankee pitcher pitched the only perfect game in World Series history? The year was 1956.
I don't know this one. I thought I knew it, but I don't.
Can I get a guess?
Crap. It is. Oh wow. Goose Gossage.
The answer is incorrect.
Okay.
Don Larson. Question number 2. Go for one.
Was that like a formidable response? At least I know it was a pitcher.
Yeah, that. Yes, he was a pitcher. Okay. I'll give you that. Question number 2.
Okay.
Who was the first Yankee to have his number retired? On July 4th, 1939. That date should give you a hint. July 4th, 1939. I will give you another hint.
I'm a huge Yankees fan, by the way.
I will give you another hint.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a famous speech.
Lou Gehrig.
That answer is correct.
Okay.
It was Lou Gehrig. 1 for 2.
That was my first choice until you said speech, and I'm like, well, no,
that's a good choice.
Lou Gehrig,
we'll get back to Yankees retired numbers in a second.
Oh, great.
Number 3.
Okay.
What Yankee holds the Major League Baseball record for most consecutive games with a strikeout? That is batting with a strikeout.
So batting with a strikeout. So I'm up at batting.
Correct.
Okay.
The year 2017.
Oh wow. I'm gonna go with. Is it Jeter?
That is incorrect.
Is it Gardner?
Incorrect. Aaron Judge. 37 games.
Yeah, that's no surprise
because he's either retired, I believe.
Yes,
he was
2014.
Yes.
2014 was when he. Fall of
I remember sitting in our room freshman year listening to his final game.
All of a sudden,
oh no, I wasn't our year. It wasn't. That was freshman year.
I hear somebody chanting Derek Jeter on his last home game. So
that was me.
Yeah, that was me.
I have no shame.
We weren't even roommates by then.
I have no shame. So 1 for 3. Number 4. Who was the first Yankee to hit a grand slam in his first game at Yankee Stadium? The year 2003.
Giambi?
That's a good guess.
Okay.
It is incorrect. That actually was, I believe, the first year he played with the Yankees.
Oh.
Hideki Matsui.
Godzilla from Godzilla.
So we are 1 for... No, these are tough questions.
These are tough.
Next time I'll make them a lead.
You'll give me choices?
Yes, I will give you choices next time. That's fair. Number 5, who hit the first home run at current Yankee Stadium? So 2009.
Yeah, 2009.
This is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. Well, not super tough.
Can I throw a lifeline in?
Yes.
Was it his first year as a Yankee?
Incorrect. It was not.
It was not. Okay, so that
he is a lifetime Yankee. Never played for another team.
It couldn't be Jeter. Was it?
Is that the final guess?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
It is incorrect.
It's Posada.
Yes.
Okay.
Jorge Posada.
All right, I'll follow that up.
Yep. I'll give you that one. So I'll give you that one. 2 for 5. Number 6. This one's a tough one. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
This one's a little tough.
Yeah.
Which Yankee holds the franchise mark for the most double-digit strikeout performances pitching in a season? The year 1998. I will give you another hint. He is currently
David Cone.
It is David Cone. Did you actually know that?
I knew that.
Really?
Well, I kind of narrowed it down.
Yeah.
Because obviously Matt was gonna say he's announcer on the Yes Network, which is what's hosted by it. So I only think because
I didn't think you were gonna get that.
No,
I'm gonna be honest.
All right,
3
so
for
that's a bonus
6.
point.
3 for 6.
4
yes.
for 6.
9 games he had with the
Wow.
Okay. From 2010 to 2019.
Okay.
This Yankee led the team in RBIs.
2010 to 2019?
2010 to 2019. Who led the team in RBIs?
Gardner.
Incorrect. He is second with 485. Do you have a guess for number 1?
Longtime Yankee or?
No.
Sorry, I know I'm pulling
That's
teeth
okay.
on you. So this Yankee actually played 2010 to 2019, right?
He played during that time frame. Not all of those years.
That's why it threw me off. Teixeira.
Yes. Okay. Teixeira. 500 RBIs.
I was like, who the heck played? And it's Gardner.
I'll give you that one because you got both top 2.
Yeah.
So you're 4 for 7.
Nice.
Number 8. What is the only number that is retired twice by the Yankees?
Is it? Oh God.
No hints on this one.
Yeah, I know. There's no hints. Oh God, I'm gonna sound like a complete doofus. Is it? It's not. Oh my God. His numbers retired by all the teams in the MLB.
False.
Okay, never mind. Is it Mariano's number?
No.
Okay.
I'll give you another guess.
Give me. No, don't give me. Is it single digit or double digit?
Single digit.
1.
Incorrect.
Okay.
It was number 8. It was Yogi Berra.
Yes.
And Bill Dickey.
Yes. Okay.
Bill Dickey.
All right.
Okay. So you're batting 50% right
These
now.
are good,
Batting
man.
500. I dug for like an hour for these questions. Some of them are stupid. They're like, what team did the Yankees defeat in the 1927 World Series? Like, shut up. I don't know that.
Wasn't it the Brooklyn Dodgers?
No, I don't have no idea.
Okay. All right.
Number 9.
Okay.
Who holds the team record for most home runs in a season? The year is 1961.
Ooh.
This was a famous year.
61. I'm just gonna go with Reggie Jackson.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Roger Maris.
Yeah, that name
He
is
had
not
61 home runs. That was the record in Major League Baseball until Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa in the summer of '98, which was an awful ESPN 30 for 30. By the way, would just like to point that out there.
Was that the same one? No, sorry, I was just gonna say, was that the same one with the foul ball catch?
Nope,
from the
that was
Cubs?
2003.
Okay, 2003.
Okay. Good job.
Welcome to my trivia.
And that's Mike on Sports. Last one here. Then we'll get the actual sports topics.
Listen, at least I'm okay. Go ahead.
You're 4 for 9.
I'm 4 for 9.
This one I think you might be able to get.
Yes.
Who was the last Yankee pitcher to win the Cy Young Award?
Oh my God.
The year was 2001.
2001.
2001. when they lost the World Series to the Diamondbacks. Those bastards. Don't super overthink.
Yeah, I know. See, 2001 is just a blur, because that
was 2001 was probably the last year we actually had good pitching.
Was it Randy Johnson?
That is incorrect.
Was it
Roger Clemens?
Roger
Clemens.
Damn it!
You went 4 for 10, which honestly, this was a hard quiz. I actually thought you weren't going to.
I got the David Cohn one.
The David Cohn one was impressive. I was very, very impressed with that. So good job on that one.
Well, I was a pitcher at one point, so like obviously I kind of dug in a little bit more stats as a pitcher than well, as I'm saying a pitcher. I didn't even know who Roger Clemens was back in 2001. So
he's jumped around from so many teams. It's hard to.
Randy Johnson did pitch for the Yankees.
He did for like a year in like 2007, maybe.
I thought it was 2005 because I remember MVP baseball 2005.
May have been.
He was always the starting pitcher.
May have been. I don't remember when he retired exactly. But let's actually slide into some sports topics. PGA
Screw
Championship. Come on, you had fun.
No, I had fun. It was good. I'll wait till next week.
PGA Championship was this past weekend. It was awesome. I was watching golf all weekend long. It was at one point on Sunday, the final round. There was 8 guys within one shot of the lead. Colin Morikawa won his first major championship at 23 years old.
No fire ants.
Nope, no fire ants this time. But he lifted the trophy and it broke. He just lifted it up and the top part just fell right off. I think that's a bad omen. Like, I don't think he's going to win another golf match in his career, and he's 23.
Isn't that the same thing as like the home run derby? Like people do so well in the home run derby and then they absolutely
that's an actual thing. Yeah, even if you don't do well in the home run derby, because you just practice hitting home runs for like a week straight, that you just can't lose your swing. The other notable golf news, final round, Justin Thomas, world number 1, showed a very relatable moment when he missed about a 10-foot putt. And I could not tell you how that putt did not go in. I watched it 20 times. I don't know how it didn't go in. And the most relatable thing any golfer like myself can relate to.
Please say it, and I'll censor it.
Yes, I will. After he missed the putt, it just goes, dude, you've got to be kidding me. The most relatable thing of all time. I think I say that every time I putt, and it just shows that the world number 1 golfer is just like us.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even remember the last time I golfed, so I probably will be the same once I golf again.
Well, when we golf this year, we'll see who makes more putts. That'll be a little competition.
Matt and I are going to do a live podcast as we're.
That will be challenging.
Why don't we do a podcast every time we go for a putt?
That'd be tough. We'd also hold up a play, and then we'd be getting.
I forgot there's other people on the golf
course.
We'll
just vlog it. We'll make a vlog.
That's true. I am starting that up.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. Moving on to the sad news that we got today. So we're recording this on a Tuesday. We have breaking news that the Big Ten and Pac-12 have postponed football to the spring, and Pac-12 has actually canceled or postponed all fall sports for the rest of the calendar year, which means their college basketball will not start on time. So it's something I think we knew was coming, and people are, I don't know how to judge people online right now about this, because some people are for the players and saying how sad it is for them that they should get a chance to play. Other people are like, it's not super safe for them to play. A lot of the players were coming out. Trevor Lawrence, who's the quarterback for Clemson's like probably going to be the number 1 pick this year, came out and said, listen, it's safer for us to play, because if we don't play and we get sent back home, we have less guidance on social distancing and wearing a mask, and they have more health coverage, they said, at school than they do at home, which makes sense. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, if you're with the team, you're going to be around doctors all day, getting tested constantly, so you'll have more precaution that if someone does test positive, they can, quarantine for a bit. But at the same time, like, they don't get paid, and there's not going to be revenue coming in, so they can't really afford all that too well. It's just a whole mess. I don't know what your thoughts are on the situation.
See, I'm taking it from a perspective of higher education, because
that's where it should come from.
I am a little disappointed on how society is reacting right now, because even with these not football players, student athletes. Now, for those of you who don't know at home, they are student athletes, not athletes. Not just athletes. They're student athletes.
Correct.
So these people, society, I should say, that is complaining about the fact that they're not hosting fall sports. Meanwhile, Division 3, I'll say, because I know Division 1 or 2 is kind of like.
Well, they canceled all fall sports for D2 and D3.
So,
which also, how do you say it's not safe for D2 or D3, but they didn't cancel D1 right away? That it's okay for them to do it. They're just trying to get money, if the NCAA is trying to do.
No, and you're right, Matt. That's certainly something. It's a revenue-making system, which is a misinterpreted. Wait, it's misinterpreted that the fact that we are a profitable thing when it comes to D3 sports. And most of the time, no D3 sport is profitable. Nobody runs on scholarship. Nobody runs on anything. It's more donor-based, alumni-based. So it's a little sad because some of these people that treat college football like their livelihood, even though they're not college-aged, I get it for the players. My heart goes out to the players completely.
And the coaches, coaches especially D1, I mean, all the coaches. This is what they get paid to do. Like, they recruit 24/7, 365 days a year, and it kind of sucks that, they bring in this recruiting class and they're not able to have a season. Well, hopefully they can play in the spring.
Yeah.
Spring college football would be awesome.
I would advance to see that. And I think for us, it's important that we all need to be safe. And I know people are saying, like, we're more safe on the football field than we are in the classrooms and in the residence halls. Well, okay, but that's because you have students that are not actually doing their part in doing their part. Literally, they're not doing their part in socially distance. They're not. They're going out to parties. They're not wearing masks. They're right. I'm not saying every student is like that. I'm just saying is there's going to be one that's going to ruin it completely for everyone.
Yep.
And that's why it is not safe unless everybody does their part.
The only thing I would cancel that or counter that with is if it is for their safety and they do play in the spring, it's kind of tough to have student athletes play 2 college football seasons in 8 months. Yeah. That is tough because football is one of the more violent sports and there's injuries every single game, every single practice. So it's going to be tough on their bodies, especially at this age. And then they expect to go to the NFL. If the guys have all this wear and tear on their body, their draft stock's going to fall, which is going to happen this year too. I mean, if let's say they don't play in the spring, what happens to the 2021 NFL draft? They had a whole year of guys not practicing. Now, if they're injured, maybe it helps them out a little more. But if you're a guy that's projected to go like 6th, 7th round or even undrafted, you don't really get a second chance to like improve your draft stock, which kind of sucks.
I think the management is going to have to take some considerations and seeing exactly where that divvies up to, especially with NCAA. Like, you're saying football athletes itself can't have two seasons in the round of 8 months. They're going to have to make some considerations.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. The other thing to look into is if the XFL happens in February, how many student athletes leave college and go play the XFL for one season to try and improve their job? First of all, the XFL would love that because a lot of these college athletes, I'm not going to say are better, but they're equally as talented as people in the XFL. And second of all, the student athletes, especially if they're a guy that's going to go pro or expected to go pro, you can get a season making like $15,000 a year. I don't know what the minimum of the XFL is going to be if they come back.
$15,000 more than a college student has.
That's a sweet deal with me, especially if you do end up making the NFL. That's pretty sweet to me. I think the XFL is probably, licking their chops on this one.
No, I agree. Like I said, I think management of any department, I'll say, just kind of needs to be mindful of this upcoming year. And I feel like for us, it's just only a matter of time before transitions happen. And I feel like if I want to say something completely plainly is get over it. It's going to happen sometime. It may take a year. It's just going to happen. Please.
Yep.
Just understand that everybody's human here and they're not just somebody that's on the television.
And I think they will get it together. My only concern is not with the schools, decision making and the coaches and the conferences. It's the NCAA because the NCAA is a joke.
Yeah.
Like a lot of their rules, they don't care about any sport but football and basketball. They really don't. So hopefully they can figure it out because it seems like the NCAA can't do anything good lately. Kind of like Rob Manfred. Who we'll get to baseball in a little bit. He actually did something good today. But we'll get to that in a second. After we talk about our favorite guy to talk about in the NBA, Mike's favorite player of all time, Warriors, Draymond Green.
The best person to sponsor a Crest commercial.
Yes. He made some news. He was on TNT during the basketball coverage. talking about my Suns, who are currently 6-0, playing the Sixers right now. I don't know if they're
My
winning.
Suns, like Matt owns the team.
They are my Suns. Listen, this is the first time I can be proud to be a Suns fan.
I thought you meant the Suns as like an offspring to you, and I was like, wait, what?
No,
And it's like, oh,
my
it's
Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Suns. But Draymond was talking about the star, Devin Booker, on the team, who's probably the most underrated player in the league, talking about how he needs to get the hell out of Phoenix to save his career. So apparently Draymond is just thinking that Phoenix is terrible, even though they're the only undefeated team in the bubble.
Can we just understand that Draymond Green has literally piggybacked on the team that has won multiple championships?
Well, that's what I was going to talk about. First of all, he also got fined $50,000 for tampering. When especially Charles Barkley asked him, "Are you tampering right now?" He says, "I might be." So you got yourself a $50,000 fine right there, you idiot. But let's talk about Draymond. So he gets drafted in the league with the Warriors.
Yes.
He won 3 championships.
Yes.
He plays with the best shooter of all time.
Let's rephrase that. He won 3 championships by being a part of the team.
Yes, that's fair. He plays with the best shooter of all time in Steph Curry. When healthy, probably the best two-way offensive and defensive shooting guard in the league with Klay Thompson. And he won 2 championships with Kevin Durant, who played like the best player in the world for those 2 years.
Yep.
This season, no Kevin Durant, no Klay Thompson, pretty much no Steph Curry. He averaged 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. He averaged a triple single. And this man can talk about Devin Booker, who is almost about to lead his team to the playoffs after they were like the least team anyone picked to make the playoffs this year. Needs to get the hell out of Phoenix. Golden State needs to get the hell away from you idiot. Like, go get traded to like the Orlando Magic and see how you do. Go get traded to like the Timberwolves and see how you do. If you didn't have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, you would have done nothing with your career. He's a great defensive player.
Yeah.
But you can't be talking all this shit and then be like, oh yeah, I can't even score 10 points a game in the NBA. Shut up.
Didn't he also expressed his interest in getting a max contract? I feel like after the second time they won the championship.
Yes. And he didn't get along with Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant came to play for my basketball team, I would do whatever the hell he wanted to do. And clearly they did good because they won 2 out of 3 championships with him. Probably would have won the third if he was healthy. I had another thought and I lost it. I'm just going off right now.
I think Matt, it's very close to home because he's talking about one of your favorite players. But yes. I also don't believe it would almost be like, wow, I was going to throw a horrible example, but I feel like I kind of caught myself there. It's almost like somebody saying, well, LeBron's not the best player because he's moving around team to team. But at the time, LeBron is leading in every freaking stat that he's on, no matter what team he's a part of. At least
that's fair.
He's leading in some type of stat. This guy, Draymond, is not doing any of that. Now, I'll give him credit. I believe he's the only player in the NBA that holds a triple-double without scoring any points.
He does some things well. Great defender, good passer, good ball handler. But let's also not forget that when they blew the 3-1 lead to the Warriors, remember how they lost Game 5? He was suspended because he got too many technical fouls during the playoffs. I truly believe if he doesn't get suspended for that game, the Cavs don't win that championship. I don't think they come back.
Yeah.
Draymond gave them the momentum by getting suspended.
Because Draymond was also guarding LeBron at that point, too.
Yep.
So.
Yep. He was pretty much doing it all. Speaking on my Phoenix Suns, we need to have a talk. Because
now the food time, we're going to have a talk.
Because we're 6-0. I don't know what the score is right now against the 76ers, but we're a half game out of the play-in game. I need you to help me talk me out of something.
Talk you off the ledge.
I'm getting to a point where I'm convincing myself if we get the 8th seed that we can beat the Lakers. Because the Lakers are struggling big time right now. Big time. Okay. And the Suns are the hottest team in the league. And I know for a fact it's not going to happen, but I'm starting to convince myself. I need you to tell me why I'm wrong. Because I need to not convince myself of this because I'm going to get my heart broken.
Who are your best players?
We have Devin Booker.
Okay.
We have DeAndre Ayton, who, when he remembers to show up for his COVID test, can actually play.
Okay.
We have Mikal Bridges, who's probably the best, youngest defender in the league. Shut down Kawhi. Shut down T.J. Warren, who was hot in the playoffs.
Okay.
Shut down, who else did he shut? He shut down everybody. You got Luka Doncic. Cam Johnson is the rookie who's playing really well. And we got Rubio, who's actually a veteran point guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to try to get over the LeBron and Anthony Davis factor.
That's the big. But here's the thing: they're not playing well. They're scoring like 25 points a game, but the rest of their team sucks.
So they're bad. Let's talk about something that happened the other night when I believe Now, of course, the team doesn't represent, obviously, how the outcome went about. But the Lakers were playing against, last night, they were...
The Nuggets?
The Nuggets.
Yes.
Nuggets, pretty competitive in the East.
West. Yes.
Pretty competitive.
They also didn't play any of their starters in the fourth quarter.
Okay, so what was it, like 3 seconds left?
Something like
3
that,
seconds
yeah.
left, ball out of bounds. LeBron was taking it out. Obviously, your first thought was, oh my gosh, LeBron's going to try to do it, or Anthony Davis is going to try to do it.
Right.
Kyle Kuzma actually came up
He did.
with the 3-point field goal for the win.
I'll give him credit.
Give him credit. Here's the thing that you should be afraid about. Is the fact that just because they have Anthony Davis and LeBron James, that doesn't mean other players are going to step up and they're actually going to take care of business the way that they should.
That's fair, but they haven't done it consistently.
But the other thing that you have to keep in mind, too, is that the Lakers have already captured the seed, correct?
Yes, yeah, what I'm saying, if they get in the playoffs.
Okay.
Like if the Suns get the 8 seed, there's a
So they
7-game
technically
series.
have to play, yes.
Yeah, 7-game series. I think it's at least going 6 games.
I don't know, man. The only reason why LeBron couldn't make it to the playoffs last year was because he was injured, and then that's when the Lakers tanked.
It's true.
But looking at LeBron and when LeBron goes off in playoff mode, and especially since Anthony Davis has very rarely done playoff mode ever, you're gonna. I am fully confident you're gonna see a spark in Anthony Davis in the playoffs, and he's just gonna go off. And I think the one thing that's really nasty about Anthony Davis is he's both inside majority, but can also work the outside.
He can,
and that's scary as
yeah.
now. Like when we played 2K and Chris Bosh, I would always do the pick and pop.
Yep.
For 2K because I knew
Yep.
Chris Bosh could at least make 1 3-pointer during the time of playing 2K against you,
Yep.
and you always fell for it.
Yeah, because he didn't miss. It was insane. But this helped. I mean, I didn't really think of that. Like, they don't really have anyone to stop Anthony Davis and LeBron. They can put McHale, DeAndre Ayton, maybe.
You will be taken advantage of at least. Is it the backcourt or the front court?
I always get that messed up.
Backcourt, I think.
But they're not going to put LeBron on Devin Booker.
They're not.
They don't really have anyone to stop him.
But yeah, I mean they don't. But again, you could really run the same play as when Steph Curry's playing. Like it's always a switch off and it's always switching and running.
True.
And if you knock down Devin Booker, you pretty much
if he has a bad game, we're done for. But this helped. I've convinced myself maybe we won't win, but we can win a game or two.
I feel like you have a good chance, Matt.
Especially the hottest team in the bubble.
Yeah,
by far.
I feel like you will certainly have a good chance. I will not deny you of that. However, I just don't feel like you'll have your Cinderella story that you're hoping for. Who knows?
Either way, I'm just excited. This is the happiest I've been as a Phoenix Suns fan. Like we actually have hope, and the fact that Draymond wants to say he needs to get out of Phoenix and they're the best team in the bubble. And here's the other thing. Back to Draymond for a hot second. Why does every good player on a bad team have to leave? Why can't they just why like the Suns? They drafted Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton was number 1 overall. Mikal Bridges was a good choice. Cam Johnson's been a good choice. They're building a solid franchise and a solid team right there. Mm-hmm. Like the Nuggets. The Nuggets don't have any big star, but they did it like the draft.
Let's talk about the Pacers at one point too.
Yeah,
like
Oladipo.
They had Paul George but
Paul
now
George, yep.
But now with the building that they have, like they're pretty competitive.
Yeah,
it's the same with the apparent Sixers. The Sixers still has to work on a bunch of stuff, but like
big time.
Sixers were the biggest laughing stock in the entire NBA when
for like 3 years.
Was it the Heat time when LeBron, Wade, and Bosh were together?
I think so.
They just were absolutely atrocious.
It was bad. Very, very.
And then you got the
bad.
Brooklyn Nets. You got the Nets.
Yes,
Brooklyn Nets were horrible, and now they're pretty contending with Kyrie when he's healthy and Durant when he's healthy.
Yep, that's a good point. Yeah, I hate this notion that guys have to like team up together or like they have to go to a big city. Like just build a team yourself. Like just become your own star. And the cities, these small town cities, love the teams. So like Devin Booker is the most loved person in Phoenix right now. And if he stays and they have a good team, he's going to be like the next Steve Nash for the team. Like Steve Nash is my favorite basketball player of all time because I just loved watching him play for my team. Like the city of Phoenix absolutely if Devin Booker leaves, that franchise will never be the same.
It's the same as burning when LeBron left Cleveland for the Heat. I'm sure you'll see a lot of burning Devin Booker jerseys.
It's not going to be good.
Remember today I was looking for the Democratic Senator Cory Booker, and I thought it was Devin Booker at one point.
That was a solid
Devin Booker might just
happy.
run for president at one point for all we know.
It made me happy. Last topic I think we have for today, I don't have it in front of me, is baseball. So Rob Manfred actually did something right today.
Okay.
So there was a fight last weekend in the A's-Astros game.
Not a surprise.
Where there was an A's batter that got hit 3 times in one series and the second time in the same game. So then he started chirping at the Astros dugout, and it was actually, I just found this out today, he was making motions at the Astros pitching coach on how to throw an actual slider, because the last pitch he got thrown out was a slider in his back. So then they were yelling at each other, and then the Astros hitting coach like kind of came out of the dugout and was like motioning for him to come forward. So the guy charged him, and then the coach like backed away, and like the players jumped in front and like tackled him. So the coach got a 20-game suspension, and the player got a 6-game suspension. So the reason the coach got a higher suspension is apparently he used a slur in Spanish about the A's batter's mother.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I had to take a time to process
that. That was the reason he charged, was because he said something about his mother. And also during a pandemic, you can't be like, come on, dude, like, let's go at it, and then hide behind your players. If you're going to motion for a guy to come at you, go at him.
Yeah.
Mano y mano.
You can't post something up like that. If allegedly,
yes,
you can't post something up like that and then decide to back away. And no, it's just,
yeah.
I feel like anybody in the dugout, like if you were in the dugout, I'd be like, no, dude, like, this is on you, man. Yeah, this is on you. We're not backing you up. But like, of course, team's a team. Like, you gotta back somebody up.
But Rob Manfred, I think he actually did it right, getting the coach more, because he's the one that instigated the fight, and especially in a league where you have to social distance right now, you can't be egging on guys to fight.
Also, it's also funny when umpires have to get into talk with a coach, and they get thrown out
and put the masks on. It is hilarious. Absolutely. Aaron Boone got thrown out a couple games ago, and he just started yelling at him at the dugout. Gets halfway onto the field, just pulls his mask up. It's so funny, dude.
I think we have to understand. Getting back to what I was saying about coaches, I think we have to understand that getting hit by a pitch is part of the game.
Yes.
Saying a racial slur is not part of the game. It's not part of the game no matter what sport you play. So
it's not part of life.
I think Commish Manfred did actually
props to him.
Yeah, very good thing as far as the actions that are, especially during this climate right now that we're in. So no, I thought at first I was like, really? Like 20 game suspension? Like really, like players don't even get that much. But understanding you can get hit by a pitch no matter what. We've probably gotten hit by pitches so many times. Intentional, non-intentional.
My first year of competitive baseball, I got hit every single game that I played.
Every game?
Every single
That's
game.
A fun
we
fact.
won the championship, so it was our good luck charm.
We got ice.
Yes. Also, did you see baseball's looking at a bubble format for the postseason?
I hope the frick they do.
So they might do, I saw like LA, because they want to do like warmer climate for September, October, and they're going to do one for the AL, one for the NL. So there's hope that Rob Manfred actually might become a smart person now.
Yeah, I know we really talked a lot of crap about Rob at one point, but
we still will.
We will.
Yeah.
I think it's this whole pandemic that has gone on about the fact of finding a plan, and then the plan kind of works, adjusting the plan. My favorite word of all time these past 8 months, they'll pivot, and then they'll find another opportunity to do so. So I think Rob is just, like, we're on the first name basis. Rob is trying to figure out his groove as far as figuring out what to do exactly.
I think he's learning slowly, but he can't learn that slowly.
No,
he's got.
You have to be proactive instead of reactive.
You're the commissioner of the third most popular sport in America. Get it together.
The salary would probably prove it.
I think that's all we have for sports topics today. So it is now time for Take It. Mike, I have a non-food question for today.
It's a little serious, man.
Yes. No, it's actually a fun Take It. I did a lot of. I read Answer the Internet from Barstool. Oh God. So this is a good one.
I've probably seen this.
You probably have. If you were to be a part of a crew,
like CREW,
or a group,
okay,
of any movie or TV show, who would you choose?
Oh my God,
this is a tough one. There's a lot of choices. I'm going to let you go first because I don't even know what answer I have, and I've known about this for 2 days.
Any TV show,
TV show or any movie. So like when you're part of the crew, it's not just hanging out, having a beer. It's more so like all the interactions that they have.
So I have two choices.
Okay.
But I'll pick my primary choice.
Okay.
I would either want to be a part of the Power Rangers group.
That's interesting. I didn't think of that.
Or
okay,
Ron Burgundy and the Channel 4 News team.
I figured you were going to pick that one. Yeah. Power Rangers is interesting. I didn't think of that.
So
one. That'd be
I
pretty cool.
freaking loved Power Rangers as a kid.
Oh, it was
I
great.
watched from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, which was back, I believe, in the 2000s, early 2000s.
Yep.
And almost leading up to, I believe, Power Rangers Ninja Storm. So it's like Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, Power Rangers Time Force, Power Rangers Wild Force, Power Rangers Sam or some type of samurai.
Yeah, there's so many.
Power Rangers Dino Thunder.
That was a good one.
I used to own so many Megazords. I used to own so many Morphers, so many swords.
Were you ever a Power Ranger for Halloween?
I was a Power Ranger for Halloween multiple times. Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue with the Titanium Ranger.
Just play the video game on the Game Boy.
I did? Yes.
Boy Color?
Ninja Storm.
Yep.
That was the name, Ninja Storm. Yeah, I freaking loved Power Rangers. And what's even better was with Power Rangers Dino Thunder, the white Power Ranger named Trent.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Trent.
Shout
Now,
out Trent.
wasn't the I keep asking my parents, was that the inspiration? They say no. But I have a feeling that since they've heard it so many times in the TV show, I feel like they kind of lean towards Trent.
So I have a fun story about those names. So my brother, his middle name is Tyler. He's Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler.
You know who Steven Tyler is?
Steven Tyler. Wasn't he? He's like that Power Ranger that's like...
No, he's the singer, he's the singer from Aerosmith.
Oh, yeah.
That's Steven Tyler. But the whole time, my mom had no idea. So after my brother was born, my brother's older, one of my dad's friends was like, "Oh, like what's his middle name?" He's like, "Oh, it's Steven Tyler." He's like, "Oh man, like that's so cool." She's like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Well, you obviously named him after Steven Tyler." She's like, "Nope, didn't know that."
Well, it's also funny that your mom was actually at the Live Aid concert.
She was at Live Aid.
Live Aid with Queen. Yep.
My mom's gonna love that. She's getting FaceTime right now.
Holy crap, that's amazing. But anyway, Anchorman. Now, let's put it this way. I feel like I could fit better with the Power Rangers. The Channel 4 news team is a niche, my friend.
Yeah, hell of a ride.
But yeah, Brian Fantana. I'm Brian Fantana. You have Ron Burgundy himself, Champ Kind, and did I hit everybody? Brick. I can't forget about Brick.
Oh
I mean, everybody forgets about Brick when it comes to this team. So
that's true.
Just the chemistry that they all have. It would be a total challenge for me to try to fit into the Channel 4 news team. But
yeah, that'd be especially for how they treated Veronica.
Well, not saying that this is appropriate, but she was a woman. So
at the time, yes,
at the time it was based. It was a little based at. So that was the whole thing based on it. But I just feel like just hanging out with them, perms for everyone, like it's just new suits for everyone, and then just getting in the fights, man. Like you know, Brick getting with a trident, like stabbed a guy in the heart with a trident.
Maybe you wanted for murder.
And then just Brian Fantana's Jimmy cabinet and cologne cabinet. Like you're basically set for a hot date, man.
Don't forget about the pancake breakfast.
The pancake breakfast.
Especially you as a big pancake guy.
And then Champ's chicken. The chicken of the rail yard.
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Wait, yeah, chicken of the rail. Yeah. No,
yes.
Chicken of the cave.
Yes, that's what it is.
The chicken of the cave. Yeah. He had bats that turned into chicken, and when he was selling, so he was selling
watch the movie. Just watch the movie.
It's amazing. What about you?
This is tough because like I still don't. I think I know who I'm going to go with.
Okay,
I'm going to go with the cast of Parks and Recreation.
I almost went for The Office in your sense.
I would have went for The Office, but the thing is, like, there's too many like clashing personalities there.
Okay.
I feel like with Parks and Rec, and I haven't watched the full thing of Parks and Rec, but I've liked what I watched. They're a very cohesive group. They work well together. They do well outside of the office. Like I feel like it'd be a fun environment to kind of like work in.
Okay.
If I were to pick a movie, I think I would go with kind of the opposite of Parks and Rec. I would go with Dodgeball.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that.
That would be a hell of a crew to hang out with.
Or the Globo Gym.
No Globo Gym. No, screw average Joes for life. But that'd be, I mean, you'd got a guy that acts like a pirate, and then I forget the names off the top of my head.
Nobody bleeds my own blood.
Shout out Pirate Steve.
Pirate Steve.
But that'd be a hell of a crew to go because you'd get the experience. Like you'd have gym buddies too, which would be pretty cool.
So I feel like this ticket is very mellow as far as it.
Yes.
What TV show and group would the both of us want to belong to? So us being together.
Interesting.
Right? Too hot to handle for a TV show. No, I'm just kidding.
Not. Absolutely not.
Love is Blind, Mexico.
God. That's a tough question. Would we both want to be a part of? Have you ever watched Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No.
Okay. It's a good show.
Mm-hmm.
What would we both watch? First Take. Max Kellerman and Stephen
Oh,
A. Smith.
gosh. Oh, man.
Stephen A. Smith. I'm going to give Stephen Smith. I was watching First Take this morning.
Yeah.
And the host, Molly, was like, what's your concern with the guys in the bubble? And Stephen A. goes, loneliness. He goes, if the NBA could let them bring in one person, a wife or girlfriend, I'm going to tell you, it would change a lot of things. It would make a lot of progress. So Stephen A. Smith remains horny all times.
I thought of one. It's completely impossible, but I thought of one for a TV show.
Okay.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's
SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs,
Gary.
Gary. Meow. Squidward.
Sandy. Do karate with Sandy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, a TV show would definitely be SpongeBob SquarePants. Just by the amount of
quoting. I got one.
For the movie?
Nope. TV show.
TV show. I'm ready.
Drake and Josh. That'd be. Could you imagine the four of us living in a room? We're crashing on the futon. Drake and Josh are in their bunk beds. Oh my God. That would be insane.
Wow. Blast from the past.
That would be insane.
Yeah. Well, especially Walter.
Oh, Walter's amazing.
Megan.
Crazy Steve. You ate my enchilada.
Oh, man.
That'd be a hell of a one.
Yeah.
I don't really have a good movie one for us.
Yeah, I can't
probably
really
Anchorman.
think.
I think it'd be Anchorman.
I mean, we have to. Remember we tried figuring out with the four of us back in 14 Woodcliff about who was who.
Yeah.
I think we came to a decision that obviously I would be Ron Burgundy.
I'd have to be Champ.
You have to be Champ. Waz was.
I don't remember.
I feel like we picked Waz as Brian. Well, it was between Brian Fantana and Brick. So
I think Waz would have to be Brick.
I think Waz would have to be Brick because Tyler's
good. Tyler's Brian Fantana. We'll just leave it at that.
Great personality.
Yes. The Hangover.
Oh, wow.
That'd be a hell of a crew. Partying with them, trying to find one of us the next day.
I don't think we've ever ended up losing somebody during a night out. I feel like at the bar was, but like the bar's a bar.
People wander, but I think that'd be a good movie choice for us.
Yeah, The Hangover, SpongeBob SquarePants, Drake and Josh, Anchorman at times.
Yep.
I feel like one more we can throw in, but I'm not 100% sure. I feel like there's just so many good combinations that we can come up with, but how about this? We'll leave it up to you guys, the audience. I really don't want to end this podcast, if I'm being completely honest.
What else were we gonna talk about?
What's that?
There was a sports...
No. I was gonna say wasn't we gonna be talking? I just mean generally. Like I just don't want this podcast to end because it's just so cool. Like
we'll have to make this a monthly thing.
Yeah, I mean honestly, you're coming up for classes. Well, no, you're actually not. No. So, but.
We'll
come up during the weekday.
We'll make it work. And if you guys have ideas for things we can do in person as a podcast, hit us up on social media at Funny Business EN on Twitter, Funny Business Entertainment on Facebook and Instagram, and funnybusinessentertainment@gmail.com.
Yes, because this was kind of our pilot to see how we can do our live streams, our 12-hour live stream that we want to try to do.
That's correct.
So I told Jenna about that. She wasn't too fond of it, but I was like, we're going to make it work. She's like, you're going to talk the whole 12 hours? I'm like, no, we have so much room for activities. So Step Brothers.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. That would be insane.
Smoked weed with Johnny Hopkins once. I've not done that.
No.
So neither is
Matt.
Not
a drug guy.
Not a drug guy.
No.
Beer guy.
Always beer guy.
Absolutely. Matt, cheers to the freaking podcast in person.
Podcast.
You didn't hear that in the actual podcast, but that was actually the first time we were actually able to cheers at one point. But thank you all so much for listening to today's episode or watching us on our YouTube channel. If you're listening on our audio portion and want a little bit more of us, make sure you flip on over to our YouTube channel and you get to see us all sexy in this futon. This is the last time you're ever going to see this futon, guys. So
R.I.P. the futon.
R.I.P. the futon.
I also am not going to lie, I just put a ring stain on it, so it is a good thing.
I did too.
Okay, good.
So
that's a perfect way to get rid of the futon.
Best buds for life. Yes. We're putting rings on our futon. Well, make sure you follow us on social media, and until next time, we'll see you on the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.
Wow.
That was epic.
That was really cool.
I feel like Draymond Green.